It's been a while since Aquarius had to deal with Saturn transiting through its first house. The sluggishness inherent to this transit probably has manifested as an overall difficulty in getting things started or even enjoying what you used to love doing in the past. Now that Mars is also in your first house, this might have changed, and suddenly there's a bit of a spark to get things done. Still, you should be careful not to push yourself a bit too hard since Saturn and Mars together can make for mishaps, trials and tribulations. This is especially true since later this month, these two bad boys will join forces through a conjunction happening on the 4th of the month. Now, you likely know of the problem these two have brought, so instead of dwelling on it too much, we'll focus on what can be done to get you out of this funk. And trust me, there are plenty of opportunities to do that. It all actually starts right on the get-go with the new moon in Aries happening in your third house. This is the place in the chart where we find out daily routines and rituals. Since every new moon delineates a beginning in some sense, this is a perfect opportunity to break up your regular partners and approach your day by day in a different way. Mercury is also in this house, which provides the intelligence for planning how to make these changes without getting lost and feeling out of touch with your schedule. Especially since the days are getting longer and the temperature is getting warmer, opening up to spending more time outside and with your close friends, or maybe even siblings will be a good idea. This is because the third house is actually the place of fraternal energy. So call your brother and sister out and break your go outside of your regular schedule for a day or so. You won't regret it. On the 5th, we have Venus ingressing into Aquarius' second house to continue with some good news. This is the place of Venus exaltation, and it's pretty good for financial matters. This is especially true considering that Jupiter has been steadily transiting through this house as well. This actually makes an interesting combination because these two planets are classically interpreted as the benefic planets, the planets of good luck. This then balances out the earlier Saturn and Mars transit we talked about at the beginning of this horoscope. However, the tricky thing with this is that neither Venus nor Jupiter can see the malefic in your first house since the first and the second don't have any apparent connection with one another. This could mean that while your finances might be doing exceedingly well, your body and well-being might be challenged by something out of your control. What you have to do then is be smart with your money, because as much as the second house doesn't necessarily give support to the first, it does to the 10th, and that's the place of your actions. Take full advantage of this transit to invest in things that might directly counter the problems you might be dealing with at the moment. For the Aquarius born during the day, it could likely be related to your workplace, publications, or any short course you might be taking. For those born at night, it could be either your physical or mental health. Whatever the situation is, don't be afraid to spend on things you know will make your situation better. Whether that's investing in a certification, or going for a chat with a therapist or healing practitioner, there will be the funds. You just have to be willing to spend it. I only say this because Aquarius can be notoriously frugal. To end the month, we have a trine between Mercury and Pluto. These happen in your 4th and 12th house, signaling that it might be the time to spend some time alone. This happens on the 28th, and it opens the door to the depths of your subconscious. This is a huge opportunity for the Aquarius born during the night who may be struggling with feeling strong feelings of impotence and even hopelessness. While this does require bravery, and most certainly the help of somebody with the maturity and the context to give you personal advice, this transit can be illustrating a way of figuring out the source of these feelings in the first place. Maybe take your journal out that day and just write some of the deepest and most secret feelings. See what you feel like sharing, and maybe show it to a professional or someone you trust. You could be surprised with how good it can feel to just put these things out in the open. Since Mercury in the 4th house symbolizes the family we're talking about, you may even want to have this conversation with your parents or elders. Don't hold back, Aquarius. You are immensely loved,